A state of emergency still in effect for parts of cottage country north of Toronto after a massive snowfall. Some 140 centimeters fell. Now that's about 4.5 feet more snow than many have seen in a long time. And now there are squall warnings with more snow on the way. Crews are trying to get ahead of what's coming, with many in the region still snowed in and without power after hundreds were stranded on a highway between Orillia and Huntsville, Ontario for hours and hours and hours. CTV's Heather Wright is on the weather beat today and the day after a weekend of chaos. Heather.
Well, Sandy, it is now December and almost right on cue. Winter weather has arrived in many parts of the country. There's no snow in Toronto at the moment, but flurries are in the forecast for later this week.
Snowplows hard at work on a closed section of Ontario Highway this morning, helping to dig out after a meter of snow fell over the weekend. Nearly 100 kilometers of Highway 11 had to be closed, leaving drivers stranded, some for more than 24 hours. Marv Sauter was hauling 18 horses and cows south from northern Ontario when he got stuck.
We had some hay come in, so that was a relief. They had been fed before, so it wasn't too worried. The last couple hours there was getting worried about the water and stuff, but we had some of the community brought some water in, so they were fine.
The town of Gravenhurst in Ontario's Muskoka region declared a state of emergency, urging people to stay home as crews work to clear the roads and get power restored. And while this part of Ontario is no stranger to big snowfalls, this much so quickly has stretched resources throughout the region.
This is by no means normal. This is the most snow I've ever seen. I've been up here for 26, 27 years now, and I've never experienced anything like this in such a short period of time.
The U.S. also got hit with roughly 60 centimeters of snow falling in Buffalo. Fans were asked to come clear Highmark Stadium ahead of the Bills 49ers game.
And while many are still digging out, the snow is very welcome for many businesses like ski resorts, hoping for a snowy start to the season after a very green Christmas last year. Sandy.
All right, Heather, thank you. Now, to give us the big picture and where this system is heading next, we asked CTV's Atlantic meteorologist, Kaylin Mitchell, to break it all down for us, the good, the bad, the ugly. All right, Kaylin.
Thank you, Sandy. Well, one of the biggest weather stories we've had across the continent going back to last week has been this intense lake effect snow situation. And as we went through the weekend and these localized bands of snow continued, it allowed for some communities in southern Ontario and also the northeastern United States to pick up snowfall totals well in excess of 100 centimeters, some cases over 4 or 5 feet. Now, this situation has not come to an end yet. There are snow squall warnings that continue along the eastern side of Lake Huron in southern Ontario as we move through tonight. In some cases, there could be some additional snowfall amounts of between 15 and 30 centimeters of snow. Now, while the snow squall situation is expected to improve late Tuesday into Wednesday, the story with that cold Arctic air doesn't end there, because as we move throughout this week, there's expected to be a low pressure system that's going to skirt along the boundary of that colder air, bring further snowfall along with it. And this begins with some areas of Saskatchewan and Manitoba picking up 5 to 15 centimeters of snow, and then a more widespread 10 to 20 centimeters of snow through parts of northern Ontario into western areas of Quebec. And then from there, as that low intensifies in the vicinity of Atlantic Canada, some totals of 15 to 30 centimeters possible from the northwest of New Brunswick, north of the Gaspé Peninsula in Quebec, and towards southern areas of Labrador. Sandy.
Okay, thanks for this, Kaylin. Well, an update today from Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew during a key stage of the Winnipeg landfill search for the remains of 2 missing and murdered